Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. Happy week that we're going to Charleston.
Ayo, we're so excited.
Oh my gosh, yes. We I don't see we've both gone separately, but I don't think we've gone on a joint trip to Charleston.
We have not.
And
that's criminal.
Honestly, you're right. I'm very excited because we are, of course, going to go see some haunted attractions here in Charleston. Because there's so many, like
literally everywhere.
Like not to spoil, but I'm going to talk about one today.
Me too.
Yeah. So there's
and we have
just
also
everywhere.
talked probably I'm going to say at least 10
right
other
like,
stories from Charleston.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
So if you ever have the chance, go. But very excited for that. We are going to see go to a concert is the main thing.
Yes, that's the reason for going. We're going to see Palais Royale.
Oh my
I'm
God,
so
excited to see them.
God, I'm so excited. Oh, I cannot wait.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go on a tour of the Charleston jail. Da, da, da. I can't lie. I'm scared to go back there. Because the last time I was there, if y'all don't know, I don't remember what episode it is, but go listen. It's one of them. Where I talk about what happened to me at the Charleston jail. And that was the last time that I was there, so.
Yeah. Well, I agreed to go because I was scared at first, too. But then you kind of explained how the tour... You said the tour is not that long.
It's not that long. It's like 45 minutes.
Right. So, like,
and it's not the whole jail.
Like, about an hour, like, I can do that.
Yeah. We are going at night.
Yeah.
Very late. So, that's going to be a little spooky.
Is it going to be... Is there lights? There's got to be lights, right?
In some parts of it.
Flashlight.
We carry flashlights.
Oh, no.
So, I don't know if there's electricity. It's, like, very old. Definitely in parts of it, but not all of it. Okay. So, Savannah said, what did I sign up for?
It'll be great.
No, it'll be so fun. It'll be maybe scary. But I hope something happens. I'm going to...
Oh, God.
Yeah. We need to watch that Ghost Adventures episode, and I need to tell you the tea.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, so look forward to that.
Yes.
Because we will have stories, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We're going to take the ghost equipment, see if we can, I don't know, see what we can do. Yeah. And you know what else we're going to do? We're getting canes, Raising Canes.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait.
Finally, I've never tried it.
It so bad lately. I just be seeing videos of the sauce. I need the sauce.
I've never tried it. I've only seen
it's like, crazy. You wait till you eat that bread.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take Savannah to see one of the largest angel oak trees. Actually, the largest angel oak tree in North America.
That will be cool.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in Charleston.
Like in downtown? Like where though? Where?
Well, it's like actually not in Charleston.
Okay.
It's like a little bit outside of it.
Right, okay.
In some woods.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's like fenced off. Fun. Like it's like a park.
Right. Okay.
But it's just this tree. One single tree, but it's like you just wait. There's no way to describe a tree that's like bigger than anything you've ever seen. Because it's bigger than you would ever imagine a tree. Right. Expanding a lot. Like, it's crazy looking. So, and you can't really climb it either. It's unfortunate because it's also like the oldest tree. I think one of the oldest living angel oaks. Oh. Something like that. Yeah. So, like, you can't mess it up. But it's cool. So, next week we'll have many stories to tell you guys.
Yes. Very excited for all of that. Also, one other update, I did start an Etsy.
Ooh, tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just...
like, shout it out. What's it called?
Okay, I mean, we'll just link it below.
Sure.
But
go check it out.
I have been drawing, like, little designs on Procreate on my iPad. And then using those designs to make little things to sell on Etsy. So
I love that. Cool, I'm so excited. I can't wait to try some things, get some things.
Yeah. So
I need to. Maybe
I can make some for the show too.
Oh, true.
That'd be cool.
That is an idea.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I want to buy those.
I definitely want to put some stuff on there with little ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That would be very cute. Well, everybody go check that out. Because that's going to be adorable. Especially the ghosts. But also, I already know the stuff there is already cute. So, definitely go peep. But other than that, if you don't mind, please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But if you want to get into your story, Savannah.
Yes. So today I'm going to be talking about the Battery Carriage Inn in Charleston, South Carolina.
Ooh, fun.
So it's the Battery Carriage Inn or the Battery Carriage House Inn. It's like,
yeah. It
has so
like
many
that.
names. It's one of the city's most historic and haunted hotels. But of course, like we said, basically everything in Charleston is haunted. So.
It's true.
But yeah, we're going to get into the history of this place first, and then I'll move on to the ghosts. So this place is located on the waterfront at 20 South Battery. And actually, currently, I believe it is called 20 South Battery. It's not even called the Battery Carriage anymore. Because when I looked it up, that's what their website said, just 20 South Battery. So it's been kind of rebranded. But anyway.
Well, they don't want it to know it's haunted.
Maybe. I don't even know. I don't know why. Maybe that just, like, worked better for them.
Yeah.
So the plot of land was bought on June 7th of 1843, back in the day, by Samuel Stevens. He bought it for $4,500. And he had the money because he was actually an agent for owners of plantations, which is a very southern thing to be back in the day. The house, it was built in the same style as like other Charleston homes, neoclassical style. He sold the house in 1859, sorry. Kind of
we're not used to those times.
Read those numbers a little wrong. He sold it in 1859, 16 years after he built the house, and he sold it to John F. Blacklock. And this guy actually moved his whole house to the property.
That's crazy.
Because that's just a thing that they would do that back in the day.
But, like, it's so crazy.
Like, for some reason, like, that was just a popular thing. Because I guess, I mean, I get it. Like, if you're going to build your dream house, and then you're like, okay, but I want it closer to the water. Yeah. I want it over here instead. Like,
you know, my grandpa had his house moved.
Done that. See? I'm saying, like, people
my great-grandpa. But, yeah.
Like, I don't get it, though, because, like, my house, I don't know how I would even move it, because it has a whole, like, underneath the house,
I know.
There's all the stuff that connects.
It makes no sense.
And was it just because they didn't have any, like...
I think so.
They didn't have, like, plumbing or electrical to worry about?
I think so. They could just, like, it's just a house.
So that, they
it's just, like, wood.
It. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, they moved the house that was located at 18 Bull Street to the new plot at 20 South Battery. Wow. So he moved it. And it's like 1.5 miles away.
Okay, that's not too far.
So, like, not too bad, but also...
My great-grandma's house moved just a couple miles, too.
Right. It's just, like, thinking about it is crazy, though.
It's absolutely insane.
In today's day, it's like, what? But yeah, shortly after the house was moved, unfortunately, the Civil War started. And Blacklock, he was forced to abandon his house.
That's so tragic after all of that.
Exactly. I know. So, yeah, he abandoned his house and he sold it in 1870 to the Yankee Colonel Richard Lathers. So he's from the north. And after the war, Charleston was suffering financially, like a lot of the South was, you know. They had just lost the war.
Yeah.
And it was just a big thing, obviously. But, you know, Colonel Lathers, he, being from the north, he was one of the people who had some money to help build the city back up. He actually hired an architect, John Henry Devereux, who was a former Confederate captain, to renovate the house with modern style that's commonly found in New York, the Second Empire style. Which,
I don't know that style, but it sounds cool.
And the features that were added included a library, which is cool, and a ballroom, which did turn into a conference room when
boring.
it was used. Yeah, I know. But Lathers, he would invite his friends from New York to show them the city of Charleston, kind of trying to bring in people to hype it up and give it more money. But unfortunately, he was trying so hard to help the economy, right? Like doing all this stuff, bringing his friends down. The people of Charleston were not having it. They were like, we do not want to trust these businessmen from the north. Like, we still hate you, even though, like, we just had the war.
Yeah.
And we don't like you still. Yeah. So the economy still, like, it stayed stagnant. It was still bad. They were just not trusting these people.
That's so tragic.
I know. So in reality, like, he really did try to help, but he didn't really help. And Lathers, he decided to move on because of this. So he sold the house in 1874 to Andrew Simmons. And Andrew, he was member of the Calhoun family, which was a very well-respected family in South Carolina.
We have talked about them before.
Yeah. So even though his last name was Simmons, he was part of the Calhoun family. So, and he actually established the first national bank of South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And the Imperial Fertilizer Company. So this guy, he was really rich.
That's crazy.
Like fertilizer in the South.
Needed.
It's like, like all.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
Yeah, he's very rich. And he lived in this house. But unfortunately, money isn't everything. Right.
That's what they say, but I don't know if I believe him.
His family life was not as great as his business life. His son was an alcoholic and partied all the time. He actually ended up getting sent to a sanatorium in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh no, that's so bad.
Yeah. So we've talked about sanatoriums before. His son got sent to one.
That's not good at all.
And his wife, Daisy, was known for throwing lavish parties. And honestly, his family, his son and his wife, they were just too much for him sometimes. So he just kind of delved into art.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Statement, but okay.
They're just like partying all the time. He's like, guys, can we just chill?
And they're like, no, we cannot.
Yeah, exactly. So in 1912, the Simmons family sold the house. So they had it for a quick sec, like a good little while. And then actually the Society for the Preservation of Old Dwellings, that's a mouthful. It was formed in this house in 1920. So that's kind of cool. It's now called the Preservation Society of Charleston. And, they strive to preserve national landmark, like historic landmarks and things like this house. Cool. So cool. And in the 1940s, Charleston was starting to transform as a city into more of like a Navy town, which meant lots of drinking, gambling, nightclubs, that sort of thing. And I guess they called it a Navy town just because it's right by the ocean.
Like the port.
So
it's like a port
ports.
city.
Yeah, it's a port city. So, it was starting to get a little bit crazy for a while there. But then they had like a revival in the 60s, and Charleston started to get its respected reputation back. Yes. And 20 South Battery, that house, it was transformed into apartments actually for college kids.
I did not know that.
And then like 20 years later, it eventually became the inn. So
cool.
in the 80s. And yeah, so it was called the Battery Carriage House Inn. And it was owned by the second great grandson of Andrew Simmons. So the guy who owned it before.
What?
Mm-hmm. So part of the family, I guess. Owned by Drayton Hasty. And the inn has 10 rooms and a single suite. So pretty big. For just like a house.
Yeah,
if you think of a house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But small for a hotel, but still.
Yeah.
The first reports of ghosts was in 1992. So it became a hotel in like the 80s, and then in 1992, they're like, okay, there's ghosts in here.
Let's see.
Yeah. And then it was eventually bought by Dr. Jack Schaefer in 2018, and now it's called 20 South Battery, like I said. And it has since gone through a lot of restoration and preservation, and they just try to like keep the history in it. All of what I just said, you know, you can even find a lot of it on their website because they just want people to know about the home's history and all of that. And yeah, you know, it's crazy thinking about how like part of it, like that the house was moved from a different location at one point. Like the foundation's the same, but then it's just like the house was moved.
That's crazy. I think about even my house. Like, I don't think if I moved it, I don't think it would last a couple 100 years.
Yeah, well, this house, I guess.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
crazy.
they just really built houses different back then.
I know, yeah. Truly. Like, they could not move it now, though, I bet. Like, what?
Oh, no, not now. Definitely not.
Like, because you just think, I feel like it really does have to do with the fact that there was not plumbing and stuff.
Totally. It definitely does.
Yeah. Okay, so the fun part, the ghosts.
Ooh.
So there are 3 main rooms that have ghosts in this inn. Room 3, room 8, and room 10. So, starting off with room 3, one of the most infamous stories takes place here. So, a married couple, they were staying here and given room number 3. They went straight to bed after a long day, but in the middle of the night, they were woken up from the husband's cell phone.
Okay.
But this wasn't just a normal, like, call in the middle of the night. Because the phone was not ringing. Actually, the husband had turned his phone off. So there was no way it could be ringing.
Interesting.
It was making a loud, just like weird noise.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. So they wake up and somehow get it to turn off, I guess. Because, like, how do you even get that to turn off if it's, like,
I don't know.
just a weird noise? I don't know.
Drown it.
But they also say they witnessed a floating orb in the room on the first night that they were there.
Like with their eyes?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
And on the second night, they saw it, too.
That's weird.
And actually, on the second night there, they said there appeared to be even more glowing, like glowing orbs around the room.
What?
So.
That's crazy. I've never seen an orb IRL.
Yeah.
And if I did, that would freak me out. I know, like, we don't really believe in orbs here, but if I saw one in real life, that would be a completely different story.
Yeah. The next morning, which, okay, realistically, like, I don't even know if I would stay here for that many nights. Like, they're on the third night.
I mean, nothing else is happening.
I guess, yeah. But the next morning, they went to a psychic, actually, because there was a psychic staying at the inn.
That's convenient.
So, yeah, they kind of just went to her, because I guess maybe they talked to her the night before and realized that she was a psychic. Yeah. But they started talking to her and was like, can you check out our room? Like, there's something going on there. So she said yes, and she went into the room and said she felt the presence of multiple spirits. She did go through and ask them to leave. You know, I don't know what she said exactly, but she was kind of just like, guys, get out of here. You're freaking these people out. And the couple actually went in and they slept there another night. They went in there, and in the morning, they told the psychic, they're like, yeah, it was good. We slept great. There was no spirits that woke us up.
Yay.
No orbs. So, interesting.
That's a win.
Yeah. But honestly, like, something like that, I'm like, did they just, like, leave them alone for one night? Like, are they still there?
Right.
And they're gonna just annoy other people and then, like, the next
Yeah.
people who stay there, or what? Like, I don't even know.
That's what I would think.
You would think they're not gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Like,
it's not that easy.
I would hope, but I don't know if it's that easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I do kind of agree. I don't know. And I do kind of I want them to stay, too, just so other people can have experiences.
Yeah.
With crazy stuff happening.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, the next room is room 8. This one, is very ominous. There's a ghost in here that is said to appear before guests, that are, like, sound asleep in the middle of the night. Mm-mm. So basically, they make some strange noise and the people wake up. So what strange noise, like, what is so strange about this ghost, right?
Yeah.
Well, guests will wake up to the sight of a floating headless torso.
What do you mean, a torso? That's crazy. I was not expecting that.
Ghost.
But just the torso?
Yeah.
Like no legs, no arms?
Well, okay, maybe
or just like body
really
but no
says
head.
Is like, I think body but no head.
Okay. That's regardless either way is not good.
I know. And it makes it even worse that they wake up to a strange noise.
I don't like that at all.
I don't even want to think about
what the noise is. I'm picking the first one that you said, the first
I don't
room.
even want to think about what the noise is.
Absolutely not.
In 1993, a skeptic booked this room. And he told others what room he was going to stay in. And he was warned to change rooms or book another hotel. But he was unfazed. He's like, no, I can handle it. Like, I don't know what.
Oh, my God.
Like, there's nothing's going to happen to me. Whatever.
That's what they all say.
Exactly. So he checked into the hotel, and he went to his room for the night. And he was woken by a disturbance. And he saw it. The headless ghost.
What the heck?
He even reached out to touch it, and the spirit made a growl, which made him, like, draw his hand back really fast.
That's horrifying.
So he was, like, reaching out, and then it, like, made a noise, and he goes, and, like, drags it back.
Yeah, I would do the same. I wouldn't even try to touch it. Are you kidding me? Oh, no.
Yeah.
So he was no longer a skeptic.
I guess not. And he, this ghost could have been a Civil War soldier.
Yeah.
Definitely, probably.
Yeah.
So.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I'm picking the first room.
I know. I don't.
I ain't staying in that room.
That one. This next one might not be too bad either.
Okay.
So,
good.
Room 10. Room 10 is actually it's the best chance to see a ghost. So maybe you would want to stay here.
Okay.
And he's also known as the gentleman ghost.
Okay. Yay.
Mm-hmm. He's known for sharing his room with any and all guests that come to stay. And people who have seen him, they describe him as like a grayish shadow, which is really creepy, but like, I don't know.
I guess you can't pick how he looks,
True. He also usually appears to be average height and build, like average man.
Yeah, okay. Whatever that is.
And I guess just like a grayish shadow, like you can't really tell what he looks like, but it's just like a figure.
Yeah.
And tends to glide around the room stylishly.
Oh, period, sir.
Yeah, yeah. He does like the bed, and he has been known to startle guests by laying peacefully on the bed next to them.
Oh, that's creepy.
So you'll just be laying on the bed and feel a presence next to you.
No, I don't like that. But I would do it for him.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling.
So yeah, because like he's just calm laying down there, but I get it. It's still shocking to see a ghost
for sure
on your bed. Not everyone sees him, but some people who stay in this room do feel someone watching them. So
it's not too bad, but it is not amazing. You know, still a little spooky ooky.
One woman felt so unnerved that she actually spent the whole night reading the Bible.
Oh my God, okay. Wait, she was scared of the ghost?
Yeah, and she fell asleep with the Bible still clutched in her hand.
Oh, dang, she was really scared.
Does that actually help, I guess?
Maybe to her.
Yeah, to her.
Yeah.
The gentleman ghost, they say that he could be from the place was the university apartments. Unfortunately, they say that a student died in their room or died somehow on the property from suicide.
That's so sad.
Yeah. But it also could be a member of one of the families that own the house. They're not 100% sure.
Yeah. But I mean, he seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. So which room are you picking?
I guess 10.
You and me?
Because I just might not sleep, but like I'll stay in room 10.
Yeah.
You know, I might be scared, but I would still do it. I'm definitely not picking room 8.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Any other room is fine, but not 8.
Honestly, 10 does seem kind of the best bet because he didn't wake anyone up. Yeah. Right? Or
I mean,
did I get that wrong?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you just feel them in bed, but I don't know if they were sleeping.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Yeah, so he's the other rooms, they're woken up in the middle of the night and you know.
Yeah, that might not affect me if I'm not sleeping. But
True.
Yeah, that's true. I would stay. I would. Would you?
Yeah. Maybe.
You're saying you wouldn't even go.
I don't know.
I'm barely convincing Savannah to go on this jail tour.
I know.
So, I don't think Savannah would stay in the hotel. But I would force her to.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
It just reminds me, I watched a YouTube video not long ago. Where these people were trying to stay at a haunted house. Like overnight, you could stay overnight at it. And they didn't even make it inside the house.
What do you mean? They left?
They were too scared to even go in. That would be me.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Oh my gosh.
That would be you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, anyway, that is the Battery Carriage House Inn, aka
the Battery Carriage
20 South Battery.
That is a mouthful. I'm glad they changed the name, honestly. Wait, what? Battery
Carriage House Inn.
Battery Carriage House Inn. It's a mouthful, like I said.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, the new name, I'll agree, is better. Oh, that was a crazy story. I, too, like I said, have a Charleston story. And mine is a house, too. Mine is the legend of the Pink House.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you can guess what color it is on the outside. Blue.
Oh,
no way. That's crazy.
Wait, I was right?
No, it's pink. So yeah. As it stands, the Pink House is the second oldest standing house in Charleston.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I think you covered the first. I didn't write it down what it was, but you covered like the oldest, and so this is the second oldest house.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, so as I'm sure you can guess, because it is, one of the oldest, it is in fact haunted. So let's just get right on into the story. There's a lot of backstory and history in this story. So let's get on into it. The Pink House looks almost exactly the same as it did when it was originally built in 1712.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep, pink on the outside. It's a relatively small house. It's but it's really, really, really pretty pink. And it's sitting beside today all of these gray houses. So it like really stands out.
Yeah.
It stood out all throughout time though, because there's not just pink houses everywhere. And it was always pink from the beginning. So love that. Yeah, me too. And so I know I did say that it was built in 1712, but there are some arguments about this actually, and some think that the pink house may have actually been constructed in 1690. So regardless, it's just getting older and older.
Right, yeah.
So records definitely have gotten lost along the way to prove, but either way, very, very old. And fun fact, the roof on the pink house is actually the original terracotta roof. Don't even ask me how it's possible that that roof has not needed to be replaced.
Dang,
don't know.
Okay.
But it's the same one. So props to them. As I said, they do not build houses like they once did.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy. Because it has survived Charleston's weather and hurricanes for over 300 years.
Right. Like, that's the thing about
That's
the
crazy.
area. It's just like, there are hurricanes.
Yeah.
And
Charleston is like one of the worst places that floods. It floods if it rains for 5 minutes in Charleston, it's flooding.
yeah.
It will flood. So it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. The pink house is located at 17 Chalmers Street in Charleston, and this street is known to have a dark past. Dun, dun, dun.
The whole street?
The whole street. Yep. Yep. So today it sits like as a home, privately owned. But when it was first opened, it was actually a tavern and a brothel.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And when it was first built, Chalmers Street, it was really literally only mud. Like there was nothing there.
Yeah.
As you can imagine.
Yeah.
It was straight up mud, which is so funny because the fact that it like was mud, as I said, an issue today. Charleston floods all the time very easily. So that mud still is a problem today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is. Yep. But anyway, this time, like the 1700s, 1800s, this time was the time of the pirates. Okay. And Charleston, honey, that was a main place to be for the pirates.
Yes, it
And
was.
yeah, so this is like prime time. We're talking Blackbeard, Steve Bonnet, everybody else. And because of all of this, and you know, we all know who pirates are, the pirates, you know, they often, you know, visited the pink house. So much so that they were like, okay, we have to fix this mud problem.
Okay.
Can you imagine just pirates sitting at this bar and brothel and they're like drunk and they're like, guys, we got to fix this mud problem outside. Like, that's crazy to
Like,
me.
this is my favorite place. We need to fix
Literally.
it up.
Quite literally. So these pirates, they actually decided that they were going to bring a ton of ballast stones, which had been placed in their ships. But once they saw the mud, they were like, no, let's get these stones. Let's put them on top of the mud, in the mud to cover it. And it'll sort of act like a road. This is what created the cobblestone that, you know, Chalmers Street now has, which we will see when we go because we're going to go visit this place.
So it's still cobblestone?
Yeah, sure is.
And it was from the pirates?
Yeah, it's literally
I
from
love
the
that.
pirates. So they literally laid the cobblestone, which is crazy because I never pictured that happening. Yeah. And so once the road was made, more and more buildings were built on it. So it's making Charleston, you know, kind of what we know it is today. Super populated with buildings. And yeah, so as I mentioned, the Pink House is one of the oldest buildings in Charleston today. And it is the second oldest. So that's really cool. And the house, I did mention it was very small. It only has one room per level. And there are 3 levels. So 3 total rooms. And it's very, very compact. So why is it pink, you may ask? When it was first made, the builders used Bermuda stone, which gives it the pink hue. But they just did that because that's what they had.
Right.
They were like, it's fine. This is what we have.
Okay.
So for no other reason.
So not
I just
really
thought there was
because,
going to be
I
a
like
reason.
pink.
Yeah, no. Just it's what they had.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what's made it the famous Pink House today. And
love that.
today, the color has faded from the original stone. So it is just painted pink today.
I'm
To keep
glad
up with
that
the name.
Yeah, I'm glad
Yep.
they did that. Yeah.
Yep. Me too. I love that they do that. Honor her. So, like I mentioned before, when it was first opened, the Pink House was used as a tavern and a brothel, but also the first story was a grocery store for sailors and pirates.
Oh my god,
It
really?
quickly became like the place. Yeah. Like it was pirate land, essentially.
I love that for them.
Same. And by this time in history, Charleston, like you mentioned, is becoming a very popular place to travel to, especially amongst the pirate community in this time. So they kind of ran this place in hopes of satisfying what they call their three principles, the three W's.
Okay.
The three W's. Please prepare yourself because this is crazy.
Prepared.
We got to have whiskey, wenches, and whittles.
Oh,
that's seriously what they said. So whiskey, yeah. Wenches, girls. Whittles, that's food.
Whittled.
So that's like...
I was wondering. I was like, what is that one?
Yeah.
I've never heard
whiskey,
that in
wenches,
relation.
and whittles. Essentially, that's like the second name of this place.
I've never heard of that
Me
in
neither.
relation to food. Whittles?
Whittles. Yeah.
Why do I feel like I want to start calling it that? Like, is that really what it means?
Yeah. That's what they meant.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like snacks or just like food?
Like just food.
Yeah.
Because it's a grocery store. So they're like, we gotta have our food.
Whittles.
Yeah, so they live by the three W's.
Honestly, I'm here for it. For it.
I get it. Honestly, I do. It's a way to live. So, not to get immediately dark from that, but this is also a time very, very prominent slavery is happening, like you mentioned as well.
Yes.
So during this time, all taverns were owned by the white people, obviously, like in the city, which meant that the slaves could not go to them, like for fun, like if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But that did not stop them from making them work here.
Of course.
Yeah. And so the Pink House was no different. They actually made the brothel to essentially be only enslaved women, with only a few not enslaved women.
Okay.
And so, as horrible as that sounds, and yes, it is horrible that they were, kind of forced to do that.
Yes.
But when they did work in this brothel, the one positive that we have is that they were paid a little bit extra. And so this kind of allowed the enslaved women that were working there to kind of have a little bit of freedom outside of work because they were able to make more money. So it's not that makes up for anything, but, I guess it's one positive. So, yeah. What's even crazier is that this actually, during that time period, became known as Charleston's red light district.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So that's wild. Because if you don't know what that is, in Amsterdam, there's like a specific area, like a street dedicated to sex workers and the sex shows that they put on. So that is why they named this street the red light district of Charleston. So yeah, that was going on all over the place.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, but over time this faded out. Piracy kind of just stopped being a thing, and the brothel and tavern part of the Pink House closed when the pirates left. Yep. So this left the Pink House to sit dormant for a long, long time. And there were definitely things being done to the Pink House, like in between the time period that I'm saying. But it's not really clear of who really owned it or stuff. So we're fast forwarding a little bit into the story to the 1930s.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is when Mr. and Mrs. Victor Morowitz came to purchase the Pink House. They were artists from New York who wanted to own and live in an art studio. And the wife was the main artist of the family, and she wanted to have her own studio to like work in as well. So that's why they bought the Pink House. It was a good size for them. And they actually also lent out the first floor while they lived there to the Piping and Marching Society of the Lower Chalmers Street. So this group was actually started by World War II veterans who used the Pink House as a meeting spot. And basically they just, talked about things like philosophy, they drank, gave presentations, whatever they needed to talk about. But it is called the Piping and Marching Society. So they did, in fact, have bagpipes. And so
Okay. I was wondering where that was going to come in.
Yeah. So they, at the time, in the 1930s, when they were around, they were often seen walking around playing the bagpipes around the area.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So The first part of the haunting of this house would be that sometimes people claim to still hear bagpipes or see men carrying bagpipes around the pink house. So, like, could it just be a person carrying bagpipes? Sure. But could it be a ghost? Maybe.
Love it.
Yep. So that's cool. Ask any local, and they will likely tell you that if you want proof of a ghost, just take a picture of the pink house. So, yeah, there have been countless photos that have been taken here that appear to have some kind of apparition in the picture. One of the most common places to see an apparition would be the window of the 3rd floor. Please remember that I did, in fact, say the 3rd floor was the brothel. Yep. So people claim to see a woman wandering around on the 3rd floor, pacing back and forth. And so, you, like me, may assume this might be the ghost of one of the sex workers who used to work up here. And it just may be. But historians also think that it could be someone else who lived there afterwards. And so some people think, we'll get into my theory later, but some people think that this ghost is actually that of the female pirate Anne Bonny. Yeah. So Anne Bonny, she was born in Ireland in 1697. And so I have a little bit of history about her just because she's cool. And yeah, so her father actually had an affair with his housekeeper, which ended up being Anne Bonny's mother. And so immediately her family did not like her, unfortunately. Yeah. The only person that she could really lean on was her mom, and very tragically, she died when Anne was an early teenager. Yeah, so shortly after her mom's death, this is when Anne, like, seemed to kind of get her personality. And by personality, I mean killer.
Oh, God.
She actually, it's rumored that she murdered a little girl with a knife.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And nobody knows why. But that is just a rumor. But there is actually proof of this next thing. She's also said to cause damage to a boy from town. And so much that he was hospitalized.
Oh, my God. What?
But she said that he was attempting to make sexual advances towards her. And so she didn't have a choice.
Okay.
So, I mean, he did survive. But he was hospitalized for months.
Oh, God.
So, you know, I don't know. But soon enough, after all of that, Anne would fall in love with a pirate named William Bonny. How she got her name. Her father said that she was way too young to marry. So she was like, whatever, I'm leaving. And she left. And she married him.
Bye.
Yeah, she said, okay, don't care. So, yeah. Yeah, she left. So I lost my spot. But anyway, turns out, though, William Bonny, he wasn't a great person either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So she quickly, she left William. She wasn't going to stay in a bad relationship, not her. So she ended up in Calico Jack Rackham's arms, who was another pirate. She loved her pirates.
Calico Jack.
Okay. And so actually, she quickly found out that she was pregnant with Calico Jack's baby. Okay. And so Calico Jack sailed her down to Havana to spend her pregnancy down there.
Okay.
He was like, be safe down there.
I need to pause because is that not that's a character in the pirate show that we love.
Yes.
And all I'm thinking of is him.
That's just so funny. And honestly, isn't Anne Bonny in it too?
I don't remember if Anne Bonny's in Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah.
But I do remember Calico Jack.
I kind of remember. You'll see. You'll maybe remember
when you said that name. I was like, I just have the picture of that actor in my head.
No, please, if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Our Flag Means Death. It's such a good show.
Please.
We talk about it all the time. I swear. But yeah, so Calico Jack, he took her down to Havana. To, spend her pregnancy there, which is just wild. Because, I mean, honestly, that's goals. Havana,
I love that for her.
But in the meantime, in Havana, she actually meets the infamous Mary Read. Okay. And history says that they were friends. But as far as historians are concerned, they actually believe that Mary and Anne were most likely in a relationship with one another. Love that. Lesbian pirates.
We love that.
Yes, we do. And so, actually, they were caught for pirating, as well as all of their friends in Havana. And all of their friends were hung for pirating, but not them too. They said, we're both pregnant. You can't kill us.
Wait, were they actually both?
Well, Anne was. I don't know if Mary actually was. But regardless, they got away with it.
Okay.
They made it out. So it did work. Mary did end up in a Jamaican prison where she died of yellow fever, unfortunately.
That's horrible.
But
oh my
Anne,
God.
she actually did survive, and she returned home to her father and family. She was like, "Okay, it's time to go back.
Dang. Okay.
Time to go back home." And she lived the rest of her life completely normally and died on April 25th in 1782 in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh my God.
Allegedly, maybe even possibly at the Pink House. So,
This is just also crazy.
so, you know, if it's the ghost of her, maybe, or maybe it's the ghost of, you know, one of the sex workers. Who knows?
True. Yeah.
I don't know. I personally kind of feel like it's more believable that it's one of the sex workers, but
yeah, I think
I mean,
so
I
too.
don't, you know, I guess I don't know. But other ghost activities do, in fact, go on at the Pink House. This one's really scary for some reason to me.
Okay.
Windows will burst open suddenly.
No, I don't like that. I don't like
Absolutely not. Like, that is crazy to me. That has never
that one.
happened.
Like, are they ones that open outwards?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
that's, I don't like
Yeah, no. Or maybe inwards, but yeah. Outwards or inwards, but yeah. Don't like that at all. And, you know, of course, no wind, no people, nothing's closing, you know, the windows, but the windows just bust open. So, hate that. Hate that a lot. People who have lived in the house claim that they can hear the sound of footsteps climbing the 300-year-old stairs at night, almost every night, even though nobody's walking around. Nobody's actually on the stairs. So, you know, maybe that's just like residual hauntings, you know, the windows and the...
Maybe.
Or maybe it's, you know, I don't know. Maybe the pirates are still there. Who's to say?
Oh my God.
But as for the Pink House today, it is privately owned.
Okay.
So, you know, you cannot go inside of it. But you are totally allowed to, like, walk around the outside and take pictures. It's encouraged to take pictures, actually. So, you know, I would really love to go inside. If anybody who knows the owner would like to get us in there, that would be great.
Right. No, that's so crazy that, like, someone lives there. Like,
Yeah,
what?
like somebody literally lives there. It's wild. And also, the Pink House is Instagram famous today. Like, people like to use it. It's like the Pink Wall in LA. People, it's like the Pink House.
Yeah.
So, it's also famous.
Honestly, like, if I lived in a house that was, you knew the history of it like that, that's all I would be thinking
Same.
of.
It would
Like,
never leave my mind.
The house that I live in now is old, not
Yeah.
this old, but
Not
like
even
it's
close.
like old, it has some history probably, but I don't know any of it. Really, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Totally.
like I don't know. I would be thinking all about it all
Same.
the time.
It would never leave my mind. And honestly, any noise, it could be even like
Yeah.
a regular noise. I'd be like, oh my God, it's a ghost. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, that's the legend of the Pink House. So, we definitely have to go and take
We
some pictures of it
do.
from the outside.
Yes.
See what's popping. But yeah, I was like, wow, that's a crazy story.
Is it like by the water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. They're probably close to each other, if I'd have to guess.
Honestly, yeah, I think
Yep.
so too.
They probably are. So, I guess we will see, and we will have big updates for you guys next week.
Oh yes.
I'm so excited. So very excited for this much needed vacation. But other than that, go check out our YouTube and our TikTok and rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. But and also obviously check out our Instagram to see pictures from this week's stories. Actually, by the time this comes out, we'll have the pictures.
Yeah, we'll
from
have
the real
pictures
life
and our pictures of our Charleston adventures.
Yes. So exciting. Love it. But that is really all I have for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, then I guess we will see you guys next week.
All right, cue the music.